Quote statuses. A quote can be in 5 different statuses. The 5 statuses are incomplete, awaiting, rejected, approved, and finished. Notice that the finished status is the only one listed not on the home screen. An incomplete quote is a quote that has been created but not generated. This quote can still be edited but not viewed. Let's take a look at the difference between an approved quote and an incomplete quote. To view quotes, we will click on the Bidders tab to navigate to a project. We will search for the project we'd like to view. Once you find that project, click on it, and that will take you to the project page. Now, since quotes are always attached to bidders, you click on the Bidders tab to view any quotes. Once on the Bidders tab, you'll click on the quote letter to view all quotes that have been generated. We want to view quotes for the company New Steel, so we click on the quote letter for New Steel. Under New Steel, we have 3 different quotes. One is in the approved status, one is finished, and one is incomplete. The incomplete quote has the finish flag, view quote, and email quote all grayed out. The generate quote and edit icons are both blue. This means we can click on the edit pencil and we can view the quote and edit it and make changes without generating a new quote. Once we generate this quote, this quote can no longer be edited, but it can be viewed and emailed. That is when it is in the approved status. The approved status is any quote that has been generated and, if needed, has been approved by a manager. A quote needs to be approved if it is created by a user who has a deviation limit on how much he can change the list price. Deviation can be set by percentage or dollars. If you change the list price more than that percentage or dollar amount allows, you will need approval by a manager. There's also deviation that can be set for company-wide that is based on the unit of measurement. If you create a quote over so many yards or tons or meters, depending on your unit of measurement for your company, you will need approval as well. Once the quote is in approved status, you can then finish the quote if you'd like. If you finish the quote will no longer be in that unfinished quotes box on the home screen. You finish the quote by clicking the finish flag, and that will remove it from that box, so the only way to view it will be to come to the project and open up the quote letter. As soon as you generate this quote, an incomplete quote, it will change the status to awaiting if you need approval. Let's take a look at a quote that needs approval. This quote has been created by Mike's Demo, and he changed the price far enough away from the list price so that he needs approval by a manager, which is my user. Because he reports to me, as soon as he generated the quote, I received an email saying, quote awaiting approval. Mike's Demo has generated a quote that requires your approval. The bid is Ford Field and the bidder is Crookham Construction, and the quote number is 14072. You can navigate from the home screen, if you are a manager, right to that quote by clicking on the 1 in the awaiting status. Here is all quotes in the awaiting status that needs approval or to be rejected by a manager. Here's the quote that we got an email about. Click on the quote number, and that will take us all the way right to where we were before, where we can view the quote and make changes. To approve or reject a quote, click the edit button, and you will see everything that was created by that user. We can make changes to anything if we'd like. Here is the product that is in question. This product has been changed by $10 from the list price, so that's why this quote needs approval. Now, I have the option to change this quote to incomplete, rejected, or approved. If I change it to rejected, click next, click save. The quote status turns to rejected, and that user will get an email saying that that quote has been rejected. If I change that to approved, that quote status changes to approved, and it acts just as if I generated it without needing approval. These icons turn gray, and the view quote, email quote are blue. You also notice that I cannot finish this quote. It is in the approved status, but the finish quote, the finish icon is gray. That's because only the user that created this quote can finish it. The finish flag is normally used to show that a quote has been emailed. It is a good practice whenever you email the quote, you then click the finish flag so that you remember this quote has been emailed.